Hello, Paul from Rucker here, doing a video follow-up to Eddie's packing video for his events. This one is more of, in particular, how I load my rucks, as well as how I've adjusted my loadout over time as I've done more events. But we'll start from the basics. Any rucking event, what you want to start off with is at least a ruck, such as this one right here. This one is the Bullet Ruck. It'll work for the light events, kind of for the toughs, but you'll probably want to upgrade to a larger ruck to be able to carry a larger weight, such as the Rucker, either the 1.0 or the 2.0, which is this one right here with the a handy handle at the bottom for your thrusters or your overheads exercises. But we'll start with the Bullet Ruck. The other requirement that you'll need are your reflective bands. They will always check for this. Safety first. You do not want to get hit. You definitely want to be seen, especially for any of the night events or any of the winter events where visibility and daylight is substantially lessened. What you'll also need is water. Also a requirement. They will check this at the beginning. You probably want at least 2 liters minimum, preferably 3. This one right here is 2.5, so it'll work pretty well. Any bladder will work for the most part, as long as it's fairly durable. And this one's gone through a couple already, so it works pretty well. What you also need is you'll need your ID and cash, usually $20, and you want to put that all together. What you don't want to forget is your weight as well. This one right here is the 10-pound weight. This is the minimum weight necessary for anyone under 150 pounds on a light. Anyone over 150, you'll need the 20-pound weight. So we'll go ahead and just put these inside here. This one is loaded in. This one in particular, because it's a Bullet Ruck, there's not a lot of spots here to actually put your weight per se without it actually moving around. So what I end up doing is to put it into the compartment inside here. That way, even though it's actually not up high up onto your back where you actually want to have it, having it here will keep the weight from moving around, which is quite important when you're doing bear crawls. Otherwise you will knock yourself out and it will not be pretty. Other items that so that would be the bare minimum. There's a couple of extras that will help you out when you do your event. You'll need a headlamp. Most important when you're doing the toughs, it will be required. For the light, for the most part, it's during the daytime, so it's not necessary for the most part, but it's good to have with you, especially during the winter times when the sun sets earlier. Then you will need a headlamp. You'll want to have this with you. Also, other items that are also potentially good here: gloves. Always good to have. I always carry one with me. Carry a pair with me, sometimes two, to help anyone else that does not have it. Keeps your hands from getting torn up when you're carrying coupons or anything else in particular. Because this setup is mostly for Southern California, where it rarely gets cold. In the Northern California or other areas, it will be a good idea to carry a light jacket, and add on top of that at least a dry bag. And that will help out a lot. Carabiner also helps out. Sometimes you might be carrying sandbags. You'll need this, especially if they start chaining them together. Beyond that, sometimes, at least if you want to track or you take your phone with you, then a Pelican case will be good. This one in particular is the 1050. It actually has a lot of space inside. Probably too big for most events, but it's good to carry if you're carrying your cell phone with you, and if you happen to be tracking the event, then you also can carry a battery pack inside, also for all your identification, your wallet, etc. Put it inside and pop it in. So that helps out. One thing to be careful about with, in particular for the Pelican cases, make sure there's nothing along the seals, otherwise it will not seal properly. And if you go into the water, you will not be a happy camper. Everything will get wet. So there you go. Other goods to have as for accessories, one last item would be waist straps. This will help stabilize your ruck on your back when you're doing bear crawls. It keeps the ruck from shifting forward, as well as removing some of the weight off of your back to some extent. Let's go ahead and load this all together and go from there. Usually I do pretty bare bones. For the most part, this is all I'll take with me. More recent events, I've not actually taken the Pelican case with me. I just simply put my my wallet and my cell phone inside of the dry bag and call it good. Sometimes I'll carry snacks. Usually candy. That'll be something small, light. Nothing too heavy. For the water, I just like it plain. No none tablets, but you can. It just makes it easier to you don't have to worry about cleaning your bladder that much after the event. So there you go. And Paul from Rucker. Hope you guys have a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. And I'm out of here. Thanks for watching.